The rain pounded against the windows of the old Victorian house in suburban Chicago as Alaric stared at the eviction notice clutched in his trembling hands. His stepfather, Robert, stood in the doorway, arms crossed, his face a mask of unyielding disgust. "You're no son of mine?" Robert snarled, the words cutting deeper than the storm outside, especially since Alaric's mother had only been buried 2 weeks ago. Alaric had come out to his family just days before his mother's sudden heart attack, hoping for understanding in a moment of vulnerability. Instead, it shattered everything. Robert, a conservative banker who prided himself on traditional values, saw Alaric's confession as a betrayal, a stain on the family name he'd built after marrying Alaric's mom when Alaric was 10. With his belongings shoved into a duffel bag, Alaric stumbled out into the night, the door slamming shut behind him like a final judgment. He had nowhere to go, no job, and only a few $100s saved from his part-time gig at the local coffee shop. The city lights blurred through his tears as he walked aimlessly, replaying the scene in his mind. How could the man who'd raised him for over a decade turn so cold? Was it grief over losing his wife, or had the hatred always simmered beneath the surface? By dawn, Alaric found himself at a shelter downtown, where a kind volunteer named Maria offered him a bed and a hot meal. "You're not alone," she said, her voice steady. But Alaric felt utterly isolated. His biological father had died when he was a baby, and his extended family lived states away, barely in touch. The only person who'd truly accepted him was his mom, and now she was gone. Days turned into weeks as Alaric pieced together a survival plan. He crashed on friends' couches when the shelter was full, applied for every entry-level job he could find, and enrolled in community college classes online to finish his degree in graphic design. Amid the chaos, he met Jordan at a support group for LGBTQ youth. Jordan, with his warm brown eyes and easy laugh, was a few years older, working as a social worker and volunteering at the group. Their first conversation was over lukewarm coffee after a meeting. "What brings you here?" Jordan asked, not prying but genuinely curious. Alaric hesitated, then poured out his story, the coming out, the loss, the eviction. Jordan listened without interruption, nodding empathetically. "That's rough, but you're here fighting. That counts for something." As weeks passed, their talks grew deeper. Jordan shared his own past. Growing up in a foster home, discovering his sexuality in high school, and the rejection from foster parents that led to him aging out of the system alone. "Family isn't always blood," he said one evening as they walked along the lakefront. "Sometimes it's the people who choose you." Alaric felt a spark, a connection that went beyond friendship. But he pushed it down, too raw from recent wounds to risk more hurt. Society's judgments loomed large. Whispers in the streets, news stories about hate crimes, the political debates raging over gay rights. In a city like Chicago, progress was evident, but pockets of intolerance persisted, especially in conservative suburbs like where Alaric grew up. One night, after a particularly grueling day of job rejections, Alaric confided in Jordan about his fears. "What if I'm just broken? What if Robert was right?" Jordan took his hand, the touch sending a quiet thrill through Alaric. "You're not broken. You're human, and deserving of love." Their relationship blossomed slowly, built on shared vulnerabilities. They spent evenings cooking simple meals in Jordan's tiny apartment, laughing over bad movies, and dreaming of futures unbound by others' expectations. But shadows lingered. Alaric couldn't shake the betrayal from Robert. He learned through a mutual friend that Robert had been spreading rumors, claiming Alaric had abandoned the family in their time of grief, erasing his existence from family photos and conversations. The injustice burned. Alaric began recording voice memos on his phone, journaling his thoughts as a way to process. One entry captured his raw anger. "He took everything, my home, my mom's memory, but I won't let him define me." Little did he know, these recordings would become pivotal. As months rolled on, Alaric landed a freelance graphic design job, allowing him stability. He and Jordan grew closer, navigating the complexities of a new relationship amid societal pressures. Friends warned them about public displays of affection, citing recent incidents of harassment. "It's 2026, But not everyone's caught up, one said. A turning point came when Alaric received a letter from his mother's estate lawyer. There was a will, and Robert was contesting parts of it, claiming Alaric's lifestyle made him unfit for inheritance. The news ignited a fire. Alaric decided to confront Robert, not for money, but for closure. Jordan supported him but cautioned, "Be careful. People like him don't change easily." Alaric nodded, but in his heart, he hoped for redemption. A sliver of the stepfather who'd once taught him to ride a bike. The confrontation was set for a neutral coffee shop. Robert arrived looking older, grief etched into his features. "What do you want?" he barked. Alaric laid it out, the pain, the erasure, the need for acknowledgement. Robert scoffed. "You chose this path. It's against everything I believe." The argument escalated, drawing stares. Robert's words turned venomous, blaming Alaric for stressing his mother into her grave. Alaric, heartbroken but resolute, hit record on his phone discreetly. "Is that what you tell yourself? That my being gay killed her?" Robert's rant poured out. Homophobic slurs, admissions of altering the will, even confessing he'd hidden letters from Alaric's extended family to isolate him. It was ugly, raw, a window into deep-seated prejudice. Alaric left shaken but empowered. With Jordan's help, he transcribed the recording and sought legal advice. The lawyer confirmed it could challenge the will contest and expose Robert's manipulations. Word spread through family channels. Aunts and uncles, previously distant, reached out, appalled. One cousin, Sarah, admitted, "We thought you left us. Robert said you didn't care." The recording became a catalyst. Alaric shared it anonymously on a podcast about family estrangement, sparking debates online. Listeners argued over forgiveness versus accountability, the role of religion in acceptance, and societal progress on LGBTQ issues. Back home, Robert faced backlash. His church community divided. Some defended his views, others urged reflection. He lost friends, his job performance suffered. In a moment of desperation, he called Alaric. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Alaric listened, but boundaries held firm. "Actions have consequences," he said. With Jordan by his side, he built a new life, one of chosen family and hard-won peace. Yet questions lingered. Had Robert's grief twisted him, or was bigotry always there? Alaric pondered as he and Jordan walked hand in hand through the park, the sun warming their faces. The fallout from the recording rippled wider than Alaric anticipated. What started as a personal quest for justice morphed into a public spectacle, thrusting him into uncomfortable spotlight. Social media buzzed with clips from the podcast, hashtags like family betrayal and gay rights now trending in Chicago circles. Strangers messaged him support, but trolls hurled hate, echoing Robert's words. Jordan became his anchor. "We're in this together," he said, squeezing Alaric's hand during late-night scrolls through comments. Their relationship deepened amid the chaos, but not without strains. Jordan's job at the social services agency meant he dealt with similar stories daily. Youth kicked out for their identity, families torn by intolerance. "It hits close," he admitted one evening over dinner. "Seeing you go through this reminds me of my own past." Alaric nodded, tracing patterns on the tablecloth. "Do you ever regret getting involved with me? All this drama." Jordan's eyes softened. "Never. You make me believe in second chances, not just for us, but for society." But society pushed back. At a family gathering Alaric was reluctantly invited to, thanks to Sarah's insistence. Tensions boiled. Robert wasn't there, but his influence lingered. An uncle cornered Alaric, whispering, "You shouldn't air dirty laundry. It's disrespectful to your mother's memory." Alaric bristled. "Disrespectful? He erased me." The room fell silent as arguments erupted. Some relatives defended traditional values, citing Bible verses about marriage. Others, younger ones, championed acceptance, sharing stories of gay friends thriving. The divide highlighted broader conflicts. Generational gaps, urban versus suburban mindsets, the clash between personal freedom and family loyalty. Alaric left early, Jordan in tow, feeling both vindicated and exhausted. Professionally, opportunities arose. A local LGBTQ advocacy group reached out, wanting Alaric to speak at events. He hesitated. Public speaking terrified him. But Jordan encouraged, "Your story could help others." His first talk was at a community center, nerves knotting his stomach. "After my mom died," he began, voice steadying, "my stepfather disowned me for being gay, but I fought back with truth." The audience, a mix of allies and survivors, applauded. One teen approached afterward, tears in eyes. "I'm scared to come out. Your recording gives me hope." The experience empowered Alaric, but it also attracted controversy. Conservative radio hosts lambasted him as a vindictive son, seeking revenge. Online forums debated, was recording without consent ethical? Did grief excuse Robert's actions? Alaric grappled with these questions in therapy, which Jordan suggested. "It's okay to feel conflicted," the counselor said. "Forgiveness isn't obligatory." Meanwhile, Robert's life unraveled. Fired from his bank job after the recording leaked to colleagues, revealing discriminatory views that clashed with company policy. He isolated himself. A neighbor reported seeing him at AA meetings, hinting at underlying alcohol issues exacerbated by loss. Sarah, bridging the gap, shared updates. "He's hurting, Alaric. Maybe talk to him?" Alaric considered it during a quiet weekend with Jordan. They hiked in the nearby forest preserves, leaves crunching underfoot. "What if I do? Could it heal anything?" Jordan shrugged. "Only if he's willing to change. But you don't owe him that." The decision weighed heavy. Alaric drafted an email, then deleted it. Instead, he focused on building positives. He and Jordan adopted a rescue dog, naming her Luna, symbolizing new beginnings. Evenings filled with walks, laughter, and plans. Maybe marriage someday, despite ongoing legal battles in some states. But external pressures mounted. A journalist contacted Alaric for an in-depth piece, digging into Robert's background. Turns out, Robert had a gay brother he disowned years ago, a family secret buried deep. The revelation added layers. Was Robert's hatred projection? Hypocrisy fueled public outrage. Alaric agreed to the interview, emphasizing empathy. Pain doesn't justify hurting others, but understanding it might prevent more harm. The article went viral, sparking national discussions on internalized homophobia and family dynamics. Protests formed outside Robert's church, demanding inclusive policies. Counter-protests argued free speech. In this maelstrom, Alaric and Jordan's bond tested. Jordan faced scrutiny at work, clients recognizing him from stories, some supportive, others wary. "Is this worth it?" Jordan asked one night, frustration evident. Alaric pulled him close. "You are. We are." Their resilience shone, but cracks appeared. Jordan's foster past resurfaced in nightmares, triggered by the drama. Alaric's trust issues flared during arguments. Yet, they communicated, choosing each other daily. As winter approached, Alaric received a subpoena. Robert sued for defamation, claiming the recording was edited. The legal battle loomed, forcing Alaric to relive traumas in court prep. With Jordan's unwavering support, Alaric prepared, gathering evidence. Friends rallied, crowdfunding legal fees. The community he'd built proved stronger than blood ties. Through it all, Alaric reflected on choices. To record, to share, to fight. Each step challenged norms, igniting debates on privacy versus justice in the digital age. The courtroom in downtown Chicago hummed with anticipation as Alaric took the stand, his heart pounding like a drum. The judge, a stern woman in her 50s, peered over glasses at the packed gallery. Reporters, activists, family members divided by aisles. Robert sat at the defense table, avoiding eye contact, his lawyer poised to dismantle Alaric's credibility. "Mr. Thompson," the prosecutor began, "please describe the events leading to the recording." Alaric recounted steadily. The eviction, the erasure, the confrontation. When the recording played, Robert's voice echoed. Slurs, confessions, raw bigotry. Gasps rippled through the room. Robert's face paled, but his lawyer objected. Inadmissible. No consent. The judge overruled, citing public interest in family disputes involving discrimination. Debates ensued on recording laws varying by state, highlighting societal inconsistencies in privacy rights. Outside, media frenzy grew. Pro-LGBTQ groups chanted for justice. Conservative counterprotesters waved signs about family sanctity. Alaric navigated the chaos with Jordan, who shielded him from aggressive questions. Post-hearing, they escaped to a quiet diner. "You were amazing," Jordan said, pride in his eyes. Alaric sighed. "It feels like reliving hell, but necessary." The trial exposed deeper issues. Witnesses testified. Sarah on Robert's manipulations, a former colleague on workplace homophobia. Robert's brother, estranged for decades, appeared virtually, sharing his story of rejection. "He called me an abomination," the brother said, voice cracking. The revelation humanized the conflict, showing cycles of pain. Public opinion swayed. Polls showed majority support for Alaric, but vocal minorities decried cancel culture. Online, threads dissected. Should family secrets stay private? Is outing bigotry justified? Amid trial breaks, Alaric and Jordan stole moments of normalcy. Picnics in Grant Park, movie nights. Their love, once tentative, solidified. "Marry me?" Jordan whispered one sunset, ring in hand. Alaric's yes was tearful, a beacon amid turmoil. They planned a small ceremony, inviting accepting family. But Robert's shadow loomed. Would the verdict bring closure? Cross-examination was brutal. Robert's lawyer painted Alaric as opportunistic. "You recorded to exploit grief for gain." Alaric countered calmly. "I recorded for truth. He stole my inheritance, my family." The jury deliberated for days, tensions high. Alaric paced his apartment, Luna at his feet. Jordan cooked comfort food, reminding, "Whatever happens, we win by living authentically." The verdict: not guilty on defamation. The recording stood as evidence of undue influence on the will. Alaric regained his share of the estate. Not much, but symbolic. Robert, defeated, approached post-trial. I'm sorry," he muttered, eyes downcast. Alaric paused. "Sorry for what? The words? The actions? For everything. Losing your mom broke me. I took it out on you. It was a start, but trust was shattered." Alaric nodded. "Work on yourself. Maybe someday." Society's response was mixed. Some hailed it as progress. Others warned of slippery slopes in personal recordings. Advocacy groups used the case to push anti-discrimination laws. For Alaric, victory was bittersweet. He channeled energy into activism, speaking at colleges on resilience. Jordan, promoted at work, expanded programs for displaced youth. Their wedding was intimate under blooming cherry trees. Vows exchanged. "In a world that tried to break us, we choose love." Honeymoon in California brought reflection. Walking beaches, Alaric pondered societal shifts, marriage equality firm, but trans rights battled, conversion therapy lingering in shadows. Back home, challenges persisted. A hate mail campaign targeted them, forcing security measures. Friends debated. Fight publicly or retreat? Alaric chose balance, starting a blog on family reconciliation. Entries sparked discussions. Can bigots change? Is forgiveness weakness? Jordan supported, but worries grew. What if it endangers us? Alaric reassured. Our story saves lives. That's worth risks. As summer faded, a new conflict arose. Robert reached out again, seeking therapy together. Alaric agonized. Extend olive branch or protect peace? Consulting Jordan, they weighed pros, potential healing. Cons, reopened wounds. Decision pending, Alaric recorded thoughts. Habit now therapeutic. Choice defines us, he mused. The debate extended beyond them, mirroring national conversations on redemption in a polarized America. Fall leaves painted Chicago in hues of red and gold as Alaric sat across from Robert in a therapist's office, the air thick with unspoken regrets. Jordan waited outside, a silent pillar of support. This was session 1, a tentative step toward understanding, if not full reconciliation. "Why now?" Alaric asked, voice even. Robert shifted uncomfortably. "The trial. It woke me up. I see now how my beliefs hurt people." "Hurt you?" The therapist guided gently, unpacking layers. Robert's strict upbringing, his own unresolved grief, societal pressures from his conservative circle. "Fear drove me," Robert admitted. "Fear of change, of what others think." Alaric shared his side. The abandonment sting, the struggle to rebuild. Emotions surged. Anger, sorrow, flickers of empathy. "You were like a dad. Then you weren't." Sessions continued, progress uneven. Some days, breakthroughs, Robert attending a PFLAG meeting, learning about LGBTQ experiences. Others, setbacks, arguments over politics like ongoing debates on school curricula including gay history. Outside therapy, Alaric's activism flourished. His blog gained followers, stories pouring in from readers facing similar estrangements. One entry on the cost of coming out went viral, prompting TV interviews. Debates ensued. Should parents be educated mandatorily? Is societal acceptance enough without personal change? Jordan's role evolved too. Co-authoring pieces with Alaric, he highlighted systemic issues, homelessness among gay youth, mental health disparities. Their partnership inspired, but attracted critics, accusing them of profiting from pain. A particularly contentious panel discussion at a university amplified voices. Alaric argued for accountability. Silence enables hate. A conservative speaker countered, family matters are private. Government overreach threatens freedom. Audience questions flew. What about religious rights? Does forgiveness mean forgetting? Alaric responded thoughtfully. Forgiveness is personal, but rights aren't negotiable. Post-event, threats escalated. An anonymous caller to Jordan's work warned of consequences. They reported it, but fear crept in. "Maybe tone it down," Jordan suggested. Alaric resisted. "If we stop, they win." Their home became a fortress, alarms, caution in public. Luna's barks offered comfort, but sleep evaded. Meanwhile, Robert's transformation deepened. He volunteered at a shelter, meeting youth like Alaric once was. "I get it now," he told Alaric. "The pain I caused." A family dinner tested waters. Sarah hosted neutral ground. Conversations flowed cautiously. Memories of Alaric's mom, light anecdotes. No politics. Robert apologized publicly to relatives. "I was wrong." Healing glimpses emerged, but trust built slowly. Alaric confided in Jordan. "It's weird. Feeling hope." Jordan smiled. "Growth is messy." Societal mirrors reflected their journey. Elections loomed, candidates clashing on LGBTQ policies, bathroom bills, adoption rights. Protests filled streets, Alaric and Jordan marching. Signs high, "Love wins," but backlash hit close. A former friend outed Jordan's past indiscretions. Minor, youthful, but twisted online. Rumors swirled, testing their bond. "We weather this," Alaric affirmed, holding Jordan through tears. Resilience paid off. The blog turned book deal, erased and reclaimed, chronicling their story. Proceeds funded scholarships for displaced youth. As winter neared, a pivotal session with Robert. "I accept you," he said. "All of you." Alaric teared up. "That's all I wanted." Not full restoration, but a bridge. Holidays approached. Tentative plans included Robert. Boundaries set. Yet questions persisted. Had society progressed enough? Or were victories fragile? Alaric pondered during a quiet evening walk with Jordan and Luna. Snowflakes falling softly. Christmas lights twinkled along Michigan Avenue as Alaric, Jordan, and Robert shared a tentative meal at a cozy restaurant, the first in years. Conversations steered clear of hot buttons, focusing on neutral joys, Luna's antics, Alaric's book launch. Robert even cracked a joke, easing tension. "This feels right," he said softly. Post-dinner, walking home, Alaric reflected on the path. From eviction to this fragile peace. Jordan squeezed his hand. Proud of you. The book tour kicked off in the new year, cities blending in a whirlwind. Audiences diverse, supporters cheering, skeptics questioning. In New York, a Q&A sparked fire. Isn't recording revenge porn for emotions? Alaric paused. It's accountability. In a world where words wound, truth heals. Debates raged post-event. Privacy versus justice? Social media amplified, polls splitting opinions. Back in Chicago, challenges mounted. Robert slipped once, defending a homophobic politician to friends. Word reached Alaric, stirring doubt. Old habits die hard, Jordan noted. Confrontation followed in therapy. Robert owned it. I'm learning. Slips happen. Alaric forgave, but vigilance remained. Their story inspired a documentary, filmmakers capturing raw moments, therapy clips, protests, quiet dinners. Release brought acclaim, awards nominations. But controversy too, accusations of sensationalism. They're exploiting family drama, critics claimed. Alaric defended in interviews. Sharing educates. Silence perpetuates harm. Jordan's agency thrived, expanding with grants. He mentored youth, echoing his journey. One mentee, a teen named Chris, mirrored Alaric's past, disowned, resilient. Watching Chris graduate high school, Alaric teared up. This is why we fight. Personal milestones marked growth. They bought a house in a welcoming neighborhood, hosted gatherings for chosen family. Robert visited occasionally, bonds strengthening gradually. Yet societal regressions loomed. Supreme Court cases on LGBTQ protections divided the nation. Marches turned tense, police clashes reported. Alaric and Jordan advocated tirelessly, testifying in hearings. Equality isn't optional, Alaric stated. Fatigue set in. Burnout's real, Jordan admitted during a vacation break. They recharged in the mountains, reaffirming commitments. Us first, Alaric said. Returning, a surprise. Robert publicly supported a gay rights bill, speaking at a rally. I was wrong before. Change is possible. Crowd reactions mixed. Applause, boos. Online debates. Genuine redemption or PR. Alaric hugged him afterward. Thank you. The journey circled back, but evolved. Alaric's recordings, once weapons, became archives of progress. Years blurred, but impacts endured. Alaric pondered legacy. A world slightly kinder, debates ongoing. In the end, as they sat by the fire, Jordan asked, "Worth it?" Alaric smiled. Every step. But one question lingers for all. Is true change in a bigot possible, or is it always performative?